In a small, unremarkable village nestled between rolling hills, young Elena faced a challenging period of her life. She had recently moved back home after leaving her job in the city, feeling defeated by the competitive corporate world. Her once bright aspirations now seemed like distant, unreachable stars. Elena often wandered the village aimlessly, grappling with a feeling of failure that clung to her like a shadow. One misty morning, she walked to the old, abandoned lighthouse perched on a cliff overlooking the sea. It had always fascinated her as a child, but now it felt like a monument to her own desolation. Inside the lighthouse, Elena found an elderly man meticulously maintaining the decaying structure. He introduced himself as Thomas, the last keeper of the lighthouse. Despite its decommissioned status, Thomas dedicated his days to ensuring it remained in pristine condition. Curious and seeking distraction, Elena struck up conversations with Thomas. She learned that he had once been a sailor, having navigated treacherous waters and survived countless storms. One day, as they sat on the cliff, Thomas shared a story that would change Elena's life. Years ago, Thomas began, I was part of a crew on a merchant ship. During a fierce storm, we lost our way and crashed into rocks that tore our vessel apart. Most of the crew perished, and those of us who survived were stranded on a deserted island for weeks. It was bleak, and I felt moments of hopelessness unlike any other. But then, something miraculous happened. Elena listened intently as Thomas recounted how one morning a lifeline appeared, a ship on the horizon. The crew of that ship saw their signals and rescued them. That day, I learned that no matter how dire a situation seems, there is always hope, Thomas said, his eyes glistening with emotion. Elena felt the weight of his words. She realized that her feelings of failure were not permanent, just as Thomas's stranded situation hadn't been. Over the next few months, encouraged by her conversations with Thomas, Elena found the strength to pursue her passion for painting, which she had long abandoned. With each brushstroke, she painted her way out of despair, creating vibrant canvases that soon caught the attention of an art dealer visiting the village. Her work was featured in exhibitions, and people began to see the beauty and depth in her art. Years later, standing in front of a packed gallery, Elena often reflected on the old lighthouse keeper's story. She understood that the lifeline Thomas spoke of wasn't just about rescue from an external force. It was about finding the strength within to keep going, no matter the odds. Elena's success became a beacon, much like the lighthouse that once symbolized her desolation, now illuminating a path of perseverance and hope for others.